In this video, we're going to learn how to reharmonize a popular song for jazz piano. In this case, we're working on How Deep Is Your Love. It's going to sound like this. All right, so that's what we're going to be doing today. One of the most important things for jazz performers is to understand that the audience is not all that familiar with the tunes in the real book. So if all you ever do as a performer is play songs that they don't recognize, you're not going to be nearly as successful as a performer than if you did something they do recognize. Very few people would not recognize this tune, How Deep Is Your Love. It was written in 1977 for the movie Saturday Night Fever, and it was very, very popular and still is today. And I think it lends itself really well to reharmonization. So we're going to talk about specific elements of it, things that you can apply to other tunes, not just this one, because there are techniques that you can reuse over and over again with other tunes. Let's pop over to the computer room with the keyboard and take a look at some of the reharmonization. And just before we dive into the reharmonization of How Deep Is Your Love, just want to remind you that if you like videos like this, give them a thumbs up. It really helps the channel a lot. I'd appreciate it. And if you'd like to subscribe, just hit the little bell when you do, and we'll notify you of all the upcoming videos that we're making. Let's take a look at the sheet music. And the first thing that I wanted to point out about this reharmonization is if you have simple chord progressions that move from 1 to 2, in this case, this is what this tune does. It goes from F to G minor. Getting from 1 to 2 is a matter of adding more chords. In this case, 1, 4, 3, 6 to 2. Now, that is a typical progression from 1 to 2. In order to make that a little more rich, what I've done here is I've put, instead of 6, I've put the tritone substitution. So instead of D, we've got A flat. And I've put an F over A flat. It's not an A flat 7 chord per se, but that's where the reharmonization comes in when you're looking at the melody note, which is in this case, an A natural. You have to get that A natural into the chord somewhere. So let's take a look at it now. Hear how you go from 1 to 4, how nice it sounds? Especially since the leading tone is the A natural, which is the major 7th of the B flat major 7 chord. Listen to this chord. Right? Dissonance resolve. Beautiful. Half step above the destination chord, which is G minor. So A flat to G. And then in this section, what we've done here is used a little bit of the Barry Harris 6 diminished scale. So this is in this case, an A diminished 7th chord, and then we're moving up the scale. Here's an F sharp diminished 7th chord. So we're basically, every other note is a diminished 7th chord. And it sounds like this. So we're reharmonizing the melody by going up the scale. And again here. Next, we're heading towards this A minor 7th chord, which is the major destination here. And in order to get from G minor to A minor, instead of just going there directly, we're going to put a passing chord in here, which is the C13 sus chord. And then you've got that passing B flat in the bass note. And then this lovely chord. The thing that makes this sound so good is fourths in the right hand, perfect fourth, perfect fourth. Now this one is nice because it's a D7 sharp 11 chord. So really E over D. E triad over D, just change the melody note. And then I love this part. I need to move down a line to take a look at that. So let's erase that. We have to swap things here and then get down a line. So we're going from the A flat 6th chord here to D minor, which is the destination chord, and then ultimately G minor, which is another destination. So what we're going to do is just make chords that sound great with the melody. So the melody is this, right? So how do we do that? Well, follow those chords with nice fifths in the bass, and then just find chords that work well with the melody note. Lovely sound. I think that section is pretty straightforward. I have definitely done some reharmonization, but what I'm really looking to is the transition to the bridge, which starts in B flat. So we're going to use this passing chord here, a B7 sharp 11 chord. It's just a lovely chord. So the thing that makes this chord sound really good is you've got this C sharp in there, which is the 9th of the B7 chord. And it goes up to resolve to become the 3rd of the next chord. That's the thing that makes inner voices sound good, is you've got this dissonance to resolve. And then you just surround it with a bunch of notes that make the chord sound great. You hear that? And it's not so much the chord itself that sounds amazing, it's where it's going. So from the G minor 7th, really cool stuff. Let's move down to the next line. And of course, the bridge is starting on the B flat major 7th chord, right here, obviously. And then you've got a bunch of 2/5s. So this is like 1 to 4, and then back into the key of F. So you got 3, 6, 2. So a typical circle of 5th. And then it's going to the A minor here. So let's just play that progression and see what it sounds like. Nice, here you've got the E flat. If I put an E flat down there, it's an E flat sharp 11 chord. That's really neat. It's just a 2/5. Here on the B flat minor, it's just a 2/5 of the key of A flat. But the thing that makes it sound good is in conjunction with all of these that are in the key, this is now out of the key. So we're just stepping out of the key of F for just a moment while we tackle the key of A flat. So from the beginning of the line. Into A flat. Cool, right? And that's the thing that makes reharmonization sound good. You're stepping in and out of the key of the moment. In this case, going to A flat. Back into F, 3, 6 with a sharp 11. And a lovely chord here. Just You've got that flat 9 in there. And let's move down a little bit here. And you've got this sort of interlude that they sing typically. Now they would do it much more simpler than that. They would just go like this. Not so bad, but I love putting bigger chords in there. They're still triads, but there's just more notes. Lovely chord here. G minor over F. And then rather than going here again, we're going up a half step to anticipate the G minor. Love that. Lovely. Just 3 to 6 with a sharp 11. And then when we get to this next line, you've got this line cliche on C minor. That's where inner voices really help. C minor major 7th, C minor 7th. Let's get that last section right. And then, of course, we're back to the top of the tune. There is a lot of reharmonization ideas in there. One of the best ways just to learn them is to download the sheet music. So I'm going to put a link to that sheet music up here in the corner. Just go and download it and learn the progressions. It's progressions that you can literally apply to any other song. And the reason why I like to do this, tackling popular tunes, is because as a piano player, it's important to play tunes that people know, and they make popular requests all the time. So playing them your way with jazz, but also something they know, it's something that definitely catches their ear because it's just totally different. If you have any questions about some of the reharmonization that we've talked about today, please post them in the comments below and I'll be sure to get back to you. If you're looking for more information on how to reharmonize tunes, I suggest you take a look at this video.